Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Soccer with Doug podcast. I want to thank you for following my Substack. If you're a paying subscriber, I very much appreciate it. And if you could tell your friends about the site through your own social media channels, that would be great. I'm Doug Roberson. I grew up in Atlanta. I played soccer all over our wonderful city. You can follow me on all the social media channels at Soccer with Doug. Today, we're going to talk about Atlanta United's 3-1 win against Montreal on Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Five Stripes have won 3 consecutive matches for the first time since 2021. Saturday's victory also marked the first time in 7 attempts this season that Atlanta United won after the opponent scored first. Atlanta United is 3-7-1 this season. It is 2 points out of 9th and 4 points out of 7th. It will host the LA Galaxy next week. Today you're going to hear from Gerardo Martino, and I'm also going to answer your questions. I want to remind you that Soccer with Doug is advertiser friendly. If there's something that you would like to sponsor on the site, whether it's ATLNs around the world, the Anonymous Coaches Scouting Report, the By the Numbers, the Atlanta United 2 Spotlight, the Academy Spotlight, or the entirety of the site, you can reach out to me at soccerwithdoug@gmail.com. We have a rate sheet put together, and we can do some haggling.
First stat isn't relevant, but the second one actually is good because we've seen at different games this season where we haven't been able to do that, and we've gotten desperate and gotten disorganized in that situation and haven't been able to make a comeback like that. So the fact that we're able to do it, I think that is relevant.
Here's Martino talking about the importance of winning at home. Atlanta United improved to 2-4-1 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
We talked about it before the game with the players that the team owed the fan base a win. So it's very important because they're the ones who continue to support and provide that energy. But again, as we've said, it's up to us to offer that to the fan base. And so today we were able to, and we felt like we owed them a win.
On the impact of Latilat and Lobjanidze scoring, Martino has said in the past that he needed to give Latilat a bit of a mental break. The pressure of not scoring was starting to get to him. So now I'm curious if he's going to score in bunches like he did in early 2025.
Very important to win. That's an important fact as well, to win and to have those two play and score goals as they did. So it's just all a continuation of this week. So the decision to start both of them had to do with, we're coming off of 2 wins this week, and this was kind of the way to close that circle with these two players being able to play and playing well. But not even when I was planning the game did I think that we would be able to, or did I expect that we would have a result like that.
Martino is a big fan of Cooper Sanchez, who will graduate high school in 2 weeks.
Very important to win. That's an important fact as well, to win and to have those two play and score goals as they did. So it's just all a continuation of this week. So the decision to start both of them had to do with, we're coming off of 2 wins this week, and this was kind of the way to close that circle with these two players being able to play and playing well. But not even when I was planning the game did I think that we would be able to, or did I expect that we would have a result like that.
On to the mailbag. Mark says, Doug, why do you think Tata started Latilat in this match? He hasn't shown anything. Also, it seems like Fafa Pico has earned a start more than Saba. Mayumba over Fortune. So obviously this was sent to me before the game was played. Latilat showed well. He had 2 shots on target, I believe. He got a goal. Saba obviously scored 2 goals. But I understand where the questions were coming from. I don't mind Saba playing. It's reached a point with his team, and this is going to sound so strange considering that 2 weeks ago Tata was saying he would likely be fired if he didn't have his history with Atlanta United, that he can plug in almost any player on that roster. They know what they're going to do, and they're going to produce. Amador came in for Baez, for example. Ronald Hernandez has come in. Togashi has come in. Luke Brennan has come in. Fortune has come in. Mayumba has come in. Riley has come in. You go up and down the lineup. Barakal has come in, and the players are producing. That's the sign of a confident team and a well-coached team. Now, they've got to be able to keep this going. They have the Galaxy on Saturday. That's another game Atlanta United should win. Then they hit the road, which has not been kind, but they did win their 2 most recent road games. Brett, and it's good to hear from Brett. It's been a bit, I think, asks, what does it say about the decision-making of the front office that Atlanta United plays remarkably better without Miguel Almiron, one of the 10 highest-paid players in Major League Soccer? Brett, I'm going to circle back to this question in just a second because someone else also asked it. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going to come back to it in 1 second. Matt says, next week's game will be Atlanta's last at home until mid-August. How weird is that, by the way? And by the end of May, they'll be off entirely until mid-July. What are Atlanta United's plans for the players not going to the World Cup during that gap? Will they get a break? Since Uzbekistan is using Atlanta's training facilities, will United be able to practice there as well? Or will they have to practice somewhere else until Uzbekistan is eliminated? So let me clarify that for you really quickly. Uzbekistan is not going to be using Atlanta United's portion of the training facility. When Atlanta United expanded the training facility, it added a second gym for Atlanta United 2 that Uzbekistan can use. It added a press room that Uzbekistan can use. It added locker rooms in the facility that's slightly off the main building that Uzbekistan can use, or it can use the twos locker room. I don't believe it's going to be using Atlanta United's first team locker room, but that was intentional by Atlanta United when it made the $25 million expansion of the grounds. I am fairly confident Atlanta United is going to train during the World Cup break. I'm sure Tata is going to give them a little bit of a break, but then they'll come back to do some work because they do have to get ready for the second part of the season, and it starts almost immediately after the World Cup ends. So Atlanta United has got to be ready. I think the more interesting question, and I'm going to try to find this out, is what happens to the twos? On to Sean, who says, why is Atlanta United winning? I'm not used to it, and it's hard to process. Well, it's winning because it's got some confidence. And a confident team can go and do things that a team lacking confidence simply can't. I think the players saw proof of Tata's plan with the previous 2 wins, and it really didn't give up against Montreal, which it might have done earlier this year. Now, again, it's got to continue this, and that brings us to the most important question asked by Brett and asked by Rob, and which is going to wrap up this podcast. What does Atlanta United do with Miguel Almiron? I don't know, to be honest with you. The way that Atlanta United is playing, the sample size is starting to get big enough that you can see the team plays better without Almiron on the field. Now, I know that's going to make Sam Jones' head explode over at Five Stripe Final. But the eye test is the eye test. I don't really care about expected goals, or not expected goals, but what is it? The stat that American Soccer Analysis uses. Goals added, because it doesn't count goals. And Alexei Miranchuk is scoring goals and now providing assists. He seems like he's the better option as the playmaker. Miguel Almiron has 3 assists this year. They all came in 1 game. If Almiron can play as a winger on the left, then I see him having a spot on this team. He's not a great crosser of the ball, and he's so one-footed that when you play him on the left, he's going to have to stay out wide, and he doesn't want to stay out wide. He showed last year he wants to keep coming inside and be the playmaker. Well, Atlanta United has a playmaker in Miranchuk who is much more productive right now. You don't mess with a team that's winning. I don't know what Tata is going to be able to do to incorporate Almiron as a starter into the lineup. I definitely could see him coming off the bench and playing. And going to your question, Brett, when Atlanta United signed Almiron, I thought, okay, it's a good signing. But then when I saw he was a DP and the price they paid and the salary they're paying for him, I could not understand it for the life of me. I couldn't understand what they paid for Latilat either. I know teams will overpay for goals, but it was almost twice his transfer value, and you can verify it on transfermarket.com. Now, I don't know if you believe their transfer values. It's kind of like the Zillow of soccer. Everything is overinflated just a little bit. But it was a really, really odd signing, especially considering his age. And he's locked into Atlanta United. They're not going to be able to do anything with him if he wanted out or they wanted out. But the team is playing well. It's clear that Miranchuk is the string puller for Atlanta United. We'll have to see what happens with Almiron. I did ask Tata on Thursday what position does he see Almiron playing in this formation that he's using. And he said he sees him playing as a winger. Well, Miranchuk started on the right last night and had 2 assists. Sabo was on the left last night and scored. Fafa has started on the left and has scored and gotten an assist. Almiron has not done that when he's been on the field, other than 1 game. It's going to be fascinating to see. All right, that wraps up this Soccer with Doug podcast. As always, you can find me on all the social medias at Soccer with Doug. If you're interested in subscribing, please, or not, well, if you're interested in subscribing, go ahead. It's soccerwithdoug.substack.com/subscribe if you want to tell your friends that. And if you want to advertise, just email me at soccerwithdoug@gmail.com. Our page views are great. Our click-through rate is great. All those numbers that you want to hear. All right, let's hug each other. Let's communicate with each other. Let's take care of each other. Y'all have a good day. To listen to the rest of this podcast, please subscribe to Soccer with Doug at soccerwithdoug.substack.com/subscribe. Thank you.